You'll learn a reusable workflow that combines solid and surface modeling while creating this fan grille for 3D printing. Press S to open design shortcuts. Create a center rectangle and dimension it to 120 by 120 millimeters. This center rectangle defines the frame. Most of the sketch geometry will be built inside it. At the end, check the linked tutorial. It has over 300 likes, strong average view duration, and uses a different modeling strategy. Press C and create a center diameter circle at the origin. Set the diameter to 100 millimeters. Move to one corner. Press C again to create a mounting hole. Set the diameter to 5 millimeters. Press D and dimension the hole 10 millimeters from the outer frame. Do not worry about exact placement, the dimension controls it. You could argue that this pattern is better created in the solid modeling environment. It keeps sketches simpler, which is generally good practice. For demonstration purposes, we will use a rectangular pattern in the sketch environment. The frame is 120 millimeters wide. The hole center is dimensioned 10 millimeters from each edge. That means the pattern extent is 120 minus 10 minus 10 equals 100 millimeters. Set the extent to 100 millimeters in both directions. Set the quantity to 2 in each direction. You now have 4 mounting holes. It is fast to set up this way, but it is slower to edit compared to a model built with linked user parameters. Open Design Shortcuts and choose Sketch Fillet. Remember, F is for Solid Fillet, not Sketch Fillet. Set the radius to 5 millimeters. Apply the fillet to all 4 corners before confirming the command. Again, this is fast to set up. But edits are slower compared to using user parameters or linked fillet features. Create a sketch line through the center of the circle. This line, together with the 3 mm line added at the endpoint, defines the structure of the sine wave. Use the same dimensions shown here or experiment with your own values. When the lines are in place, switch to Surface and use Sweep. The Surface Sweep command allows you to work with open sketch profiles along a defined path. Press S to open Design Shortcuts again. You can distinguish between solid and surface tools by their color. Blue icons are solid modeling tools. Orange icons are surface modeling tools. There is a lot of geometry in the same area here. If selection becomes difficult, press and hold the left mouse button. Choose the correct profile from the pop-up selection list. The straight line through the circle is the path. Set the twist angle to rotate 360 degrees times 5. After entering 360, the twist input may deselect automatically. Click inside the box again and multiply it by 5. Fusion may automatically hide sketches after completing a command. If that is not helpful in this case, simply turn visibility back on. It is a useful feature, but not in every situation. Create a new sketch on the flat construction plane. Press S and use Project from Design Shortcuts. Project the relevant edges from the Sine wave surface geometry into your new sketch. Use Surface Extrude recognized by the orange icon. Extrude the sine wave 10 millimeters. This height is a good candidate for a user parameter if you structure the model properly. With the surface created, apply thicken and set it to symmetric. I'll use 1 mm for this digital prototype that is thin. If you plan to 3D print this, consider a thicker value depending on use case, material and print settings. Press E for extrude and extrude the remaining profile as a new body. Since we created the holes and the fillets directly in the sketch, this final extrusion is simple. Most of the decisions were already made earlier in the process. There are always different ways to build the same model in Fusion. Some approaches are easier to edit later, others are quicker to set up. How would you approach this design? Let me know in the comments and explain why. We're using a solid modeling rectangular pattern instead of patterning the sketch. One benefit is that the pattern appears as a single feature in the timeline, which makes it easier to manage later. Set the direction to symmetric. Change the distribution to spacing and enter an interval that fits your design. You'll see several waves intersecting the main body. That's fine. We'll fix that later. With the waves in place, let's shape the curvature that gives the top its rounded form. We'll use a fit point spline for this. It's quick to set up, easy to adjust, and gives you a lot of flexibility. I'm keeping it simple in this video, but this is a step where you should slow down and iterate a few times. Small adjustments can make a big difference in how smooth the final shape feels. Make sure you oversketch the spline. It should extend well beyond the base body. If it's too narrow, you won't reach the corners in the later steps when we start cutting away material. I really enjoy working with these green handles. It's easy to stay here and keep refining the curve. But if I do that for too long, people will start dropping off the video. So let's move on. You can always come back later and fine-tune the curvature once the overall shape is in place. The purpose of this thin symmetric extrusion is simply to create a surface that is wide enough to thicken later. You can even over-dimension the thicken value to speed things up. Just make sure to switch away from the symmetric setting if that is pre-selected. You only want solid geometry above the fit point spline. This solid will act as the Revolve cut tool. Before we continue, this is a good moment to save your project and add a short description. With the project saved, activate the solid Revolve tool. Set the operation to cut and revolve the body 360 degrees around the axis in the center of the canvas. The model looks great, but if I plan to 3D print it, I would revisit the fit point spline in the timeline and adjust the green handles to create a smoother top surface. Turn off layout grids and sketch visibility, then save your project before continuing. Next, combine the bodies and do a quick quality check. There is also a small error we need to fix, something that was easy to miss earlier because we moved through the steps quickly. For the tool body selection, make sure all bodies are highlighted in blue. You can also follow the body count and the pop-up window on the right. Finish the operation as a new component and switch to a top view. This is where the error becomes visible, and the lesson here is to do this kind of visual check earlier in the process. One of the sine waves runs into a mounting hole. It's not a big problem and it's easy to fix. But ideally, this should have been caught proactively rather than reactively. That said, there's nothing unusual about iterating a design as you go. My strategy for fixing this, and feel free to share your workflow in the comments, is to go back in the timeline and add a split operation. After completing the split, instead of updating the existing combine operation, I simply delete it and create a new one. When setting up the new combine, I just leave out the part of the Sine wave that was split. Remember to also delete the component that came out of the previous combine operation. We'll simply create a new one when we run the combine again. For some reason, the bodies didn't all turn blue when I selected the sine waves, but the count in the pop-up window confirmed that they were selected. With the new component in place, we can hide the bodies that aren't part of the component, and the design is finished. If you enjoyed this tutorial, check out the linked video at the end. It's a very popular and highly rated tutorial. Drop a comment, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.